In a hall built for sports, the sorrow of a funeral mass. 2 small coffins in the middle of the rows, those of the youngest victims, an 18-month-old baby and a 9-year-old girl called Giulia. Local Bishop Giovanni De Cola read out the names to applause from those gathered outside. He talked directly to the relatives in his sermon.
Che il terremoto, con la sua violenza, può togliere tutto.
The earthquake can take everything away from you, everything except courage. I am saying this because I want it to be your lifeboat in these stormy waters. Without that hope, that courage, that faith, you would live in misery.
Perché oggi I riflettori sono accesi, domani si spegneranno. Ho rivolto questa domanda a Dio.
The bishop had been to Pescara del Tronto, one of the worst hit towns, the day after the earthquake, where he recovered the crucifix from the church. He described how Giulia's body had been found at the same time. She'd been shielding her younger sister Georgia, who was pulled out alive. A nun who worked in Pescara, who had identified the victims she knew, said everyone in the town had been affected by the quake.
Ho perso 2 cugini.
I lost 2 cousins. My sister lost her sister-in-law and her niece. But that's not it. The town is small. We've known everyone since childhood. Everybody is your brother. Everyone is your sister. We were having a party with our friends, and now they're in coffins.
Bishop De Cola announced during the Mass that the number of people who had died from the Merco district was actually now 49. He said just before the service began, he had been told that another person had been added to that death toll. The news were met by sighs and gasps among the mourners. The Italian Prime Minister and President paid their respects to the relatives after the ceremony. The President had spent the morning at the quake zone. At the camp for displaced people in Amatrice, he'd asked to meet the children who are now homeless. This state funeral is just the beginning. Italy has many more victims to mourn from this disaster. Sue Turton, Al Jazeera, Ascoli Piceno.